Namaste. Namaste.
I welcome everyone here. Today is our 50th class of Mundakopanishad with Swamiji. In our previous class, we studied section 3, chapter 3, section 1, shloka 5. This month is the very auspicious month of Ramayana Masam. Also, tomorrow, as we all know, is Guru Purnima. Mrs. Manju Nandakumar will chant a few Guru Vandana shlokas and Sri Rama Vandana shlokas. Manju?
Hari Om Swamiji. Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ajnanatimmirandhasya jnananjanashalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurudevo Maheshwaraha Gurureva Parabrahma tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Simhanandam Paramasukhatam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvadidam Gaganasadrusham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhūtam Bhavadidam Trigunarehitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavatyaptadehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Swamin Namaste Nataloga Bandho Karunya Sindho Padidam Bhavabdho Mamuddaratmiya Kadaksha Drishtya Trijvadikarunya Sudha Bhivristya. Pujantam Rama Rameti Madhuram Madhuraksharam Aruhya Kavida Shagim Vande Vatmiki Kokilam. Hari Om Swamiji.
Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Paramparam. In our last satsanga, we were discussing the fourth mantra. First
315 we completed, Swamiji.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the fifth mantra.
Yeah,
in
fifth completed. Yeah.
Third mundaka. Antasharire Jyotirmayaha hi Shubhraha. Shubhraha, the pure and the effulgent being. Yam Paśyanti Yatayaha Kshinadoshaha. Whom yatayaha, those who have controlled their own senses and indriyas, they are seeing that. They are realizing that. Hum satyena labhyas tapasa hi esha atma. This atma is to be realized through a pure life, observing satyanistha in life, that is truthfulness in all aspects, in all ways, and samyak jnanena. Samyak jnana is the holistic knowledge, or we can call it wisdom. Instead of calling knowledge, we can call it wisdom. And brahmacharyana, in our last satsanga, we have seen different levels of satsanga, the brahmacharya. In the very basic level, brahmacharya is observing celibacy, then it is controlling the senses and mind, then it is studying Veda, then it is living with Guru, with all sadhanas, and in the highest level, it is being one within. That is the state of a realized self. With that realization, I am that. That is brahmacharya. So through these practices, yatayaha kshina doshaha, those who have controlled their own senses and indriyas, they are realizing this highest reality. So it was taught there in the 5th mantra. Now we are going to the 6th mantra. See? Satyameva jayate nānṛtaṃ satyena panthā vitato devayānaḥ yenākramantyṛṣayo hyāptakāmā yatra satyasya nidhānam. Satyameva jayate nānṛtaṃ satyena panthā vitato devayānaḥ yenākramantyṛṣayo hyāptakāmā yatra satyasya paramaṃ nidhānam. Satyameva jayate nānṛtaṃ. Satyameva, Satyam alone succeeds. Nānṛtaṃ, not the untruthfulness. Then it is said, satyena panthā vitataha devayānaḥ. Panthā devayānaḥ, the path of devayāna is vitataha, spread along through the path of satya. Satyena, through the path of satya. Vitataha, spreads. Devayānaḥ, margaha. We will discuss in detail. Then it is said, yenākramantyṛṣayo. Rishayah, it is the plural of rishi, the seers. We can roughly translate as seers, the seers. Akramanti. Akramanti means are walking or are reaching either as walking or as are reaching. Rishayah, the seers, who are they? Hyāptakāmā, having fulfilled all desires. Having fulfilled all desires. Yatra, where satyasya paramaṃ nidhānam, the highest abode of truth. Where the highest abode of truth is residing, there these rishayah, the seers, are walking to that or reaching that abode where the highest truth is residing. So these are the word meanings. Now we can go to the mantra. It is a continuation of the fifth mantra. We have to take like that. It's a continuation of the fifth mantra. There we have seen satyena labhyaha. He esha atma. This atma is to be realized through truthfulness. Satyam. And samyak jnanena. With harmonious knowledge. Brahmacharyena. The practice of brahmacharya. It was said earlier. Now it is said satyameva jayate. Satyameva jayate. Satyam alone triumphs. As everybody know, this piece satyameva jayati. Jayati, it is parasmai padam. Here it is atmane padam. The meaning is the same. Satyam, truthfulness, alone succeeds. So in the earlier mantra, it was said through truthfulness, Rishis reaches that. Rishi reaches that, or Rishis reach that highest truth through the observance of Satyam. And now it is said, satyameva jayati. Satyam alone succeeds. What is Satyam? So we can see from different levels what is Satyam. In the transactional level, it is always keeping satyanistha. That is always talking what we know. What we knew through the means of knowledge or valid means of knowledge. Valid means of knowledge means pramana. What knowledge we are getting through right pramana, that is satya. And this satya, when we are transferring to somebody else, that is through our words or our writings, normally our speech, then we call it satya. He is speaking truth. He is observing satya, like that. Then from a higher standpoint, satya is the bhava of sat. Being sat is satya. Satya is the bhava of sat, means being sat. And what is sat? That what remains irrespective of time and space, are the absolute existence on which everything else exists is Satya. What was there, and what is there, and what will be there. We know all the manifestations are dissolving and definitely will dissolve. There is no doubt in that. Whatever manifest must dissolve today or tomorrow. So what is the very base, or what is the substratum on which all these manifestations are coming? What is that? When I am saying I am here, or this world is here, or many objects are around me, and you are there, what is that existence which is giving existence to all these manifestations? That ultimate existence, or that existence absolute, is called Sat. Sat. Existence absolute. And the bhava of Sat is Satyam. Bhava of Sat is Satyam. So satyameva jayate. Always that truth alone, that absolute reality alone triumphs. It alone succeeds. And going a little away from the verbal meaning, many acharyas are taking the meaning of jayate, vijayate, etc. as shining. Shining. So the absolute existence, which we call Sat, alone shines. That is shining through all other manifestations. Because that is giving existence to everything. What is shining through the sun? What is shining through the moon? What is shining through me? And what is shining through you? That is the existence absolute. Satyameva jayate. So from both the levels, first, observing truthfulness in life. See, whatever tapas we are doing in this life, whatever that be, we may be doing this or that. Different modes of tapas. Swadhyaya we may be doing, or we may be performing yajnas, yagas, this, that, puja, patha. But the very base of all this is the truthfulness we are observing. We can give lectures on Upanishads. We can write volumes and volumes as explanations or commentaries based on Upanishads. But if we are not observing truthfulness in our own life, then there's no meaning. There's no meaning at all. So what succeeds is Satyam, that is the truthfulness we are observing here in this life, in this world. So that is the very base or very substratum of all other sadhanas. In our last sitting, we have seen a piece of mantra from Upanishad. There, the Acharya, the Rishi, teaches in detail. And the language of Upanishad is that much pointed. It will directly enter into the heart of the student. There, after hearing all the teachings, the Shishya asks, "Oh Acharya, please teach me Upanishad." See, after hearing all the teachings and after realizing what the Guru had taught, Shishya is asking, not before that. If he is asking in the beginning, we can, it is very easy for us to understand because he is asking for hearing Upanishad. But here, after hearing everything, all the teachings, that too in a direct language, that peers into the heart of the student, then he is asking, please teach me Upanishad. So on this mantra, Bhagavan Bhashyakara, Shankaracharya, he discuss, a long discussion is there in the Bhashya. A very long discussion. What is the meaning of this question? Because after hearing all the Upanishads, Shishya is asking, then what is the meaning? This is the subject matter of discussion. Then Bhagavan Bhashyakara says, after a long analysis, he says, from the intellectual level, everything connected with Brahman has been taught. There is no doubt in that. There is nothing more to be done. There is nothing more to be done. See, if we are teaching somebody to do some puja, or if we are teaching somebody to do homa, so after teaching, or after getting the whole of teaching, he have to collect puja materials, puja dravyas. He have to make it clean. And he have to do many other formalities before starting the puja. Or in the case of homa, he have to collect many things. Things to offer, then samhita, to have the fire, many things. But here, there is nothing to be done. There is nothing to be done. So it is very clear, and in the intellectual level, you are given the highest teaching, and I heard that. There is no doubt in that. But I am living in this world, in the transactional level, having many relations. Even now, when we are sitting in the Swadhyaya, relation between us is there. You are the Guru, and I am the student. So that relation is there. So when we are living in the transactional level, what we have to do to realize that highest teaching? Yes, in the intellectual level it is okay. There's no problem. But for me, Let me repeat, for me to realize that. What more I have to do? This is the meaning of the question. Then Acharya says, tasya tapo dhamma karmeti pratishtha vedaha sarvangani satyamayatanam. Tasyai, for her. Tasya means for her. For her means for the Upanishad. Because the Shabda Upanishad is in the feminine gender. For her, that is for Upanishad, tapo dhamma karmeti pratishtha. Tapas, dhamma and karma are the pratishtha, are the seat in which Upanishad will come and sit. We must have tapas within us. We must have perfect control over our own senses. And we have to do or perform satkarmas, virtuous deeds in this life. Vedaha sarvangani. We have to learn Veda. So only when we are imbibing the inner meanings of Veda, Upanishad will come and sit. And after telling all these things, that is tapa, dhamma, karma and Veda, Acharya says satyamayatanam. Keep in the mind that satyam is the ayatanam. Ayatanam means the very base. That is the foundation. Satyam is the very foundation on which the whole edifice of sadhana is built. So here it is said, satyameva jayate. Satyam alone succeeds. Nānṛtaṃ. No. Not. Never. Anartham. Untruthfulness. If we are following the path of untruthfulness, no success we will have. So for a sadhaka to reach to that highest state of realization, the first essential thing is he have to observe satya in life. Speaking, observing, or being in satya. If we are moving in the path of anartha, asatya, then it will ruin our own life. It will hinder all our sadhanas. We will never reach the goal of this life. So, nānṛtaṃ. So, this is the primary meaning of this mantra. Now, let us go a little more deeper. As we have seen earlier, satyam is the existence absolute. Satyam is the existence absolute, more than in the transactional level. It is the absolute existence, absolute truth, which we call Brahman or Paramatman. That alone shines. It is shining through all the manifestations. Through all the manifestations, that existence absolute is shining. nānṛtaṃ. Never anṛtaṃ. See, here satyameva jayate. It is said in the very outset. Then, instead of using asatyam, na asatyam, Shruti is using the term na anṛtaṃ. Of course, both are synonyms. The term satya, the term rta, both are synonyms. But when we go a little more deeper into the meanings of these two terms, we use the term satya even in the transactional level, in the worldly level. I am speaking the truth. Satyam vadami. Never we use the term rtam vadami. Because rtam is the absolute reality or absolute truth. The term rtam is never used in the transactional level. It is in the absolute level, ultimate level. I can say, this bottle is here and this is satyam. Or this phone is here, it is satyam. Because it is existing. But I cannot say this phone is rtam. No. So the term nidhānam is used to denote the ultimate truth. So when we negate that, it becomes anṛtaṃ. So that which is not the absolute reality, anṛtaṃ, never shines. That means what is shining through all the satyams, all the manifestations, is that absolute existence, that nṛtaṃ. See, we are living in this worldly phenomenal plane. And we are transacting with many, many objects of the world. We can say this have a satyam, this is satyam in the transactional level. But see, whatever exists in the transactional level are existing because of the existence absolute. If we are negating that, nothing will shine. Satyameva jayate nānṛtaṃ. And the Guru is repeatedly insisting, "O Shishya, you must follow the path of truthfulness. It is the only way to reach that highest." And therefore it is said, satyena panthā vitato devayānaḥ. Even the path of devayānaḥ, not the highest realization, but the path that leads to the Brahmaloka, highest lokas, even that is spread. Vitataha means spread. Through satya. Satyena panthā vitataha devayānaḥ. So when the path to the highest lokas are made with satya, then what to speak of about the highest realization? Even devayānaḥ you can reach only through observing satya. Then I need not tell about the importance of satya in the path of realizing the highest. Huh? So you always keep in mind. So teach us the Guru. Satyena panthā vitataha devayānaḥ yenākramantyṛṣayo. Yena, by which or through which? Akramanti, are walking or are reaching. The dhatu, the root kramu, is used to mean kramu pada vikshepe. Kramu pada vikshepe, that means footsteps. When we walk, we are putting one after another our foot. So footstep. Krama is that. So kramate means walking, is walking. By observing truthfulness in life, rṣayaha, seers, are walking or are reaching that abode. Which is that abode? Which is that place? Yatra tad satyasya paramaṃ nidhānam. Nidhānam is the place of residence, where the highest truth is residing. That place, rṣayaha reaches that place through observing satya in life. Always practicing satya, always thinking about the satya, hearing about the satya, studying about the satya. Actually, the study of Vedanta is that. We are studying Vedanta. What Vedanta says? It is not discussing nothing. It is not discussing nothing. Only satya, satya, satya. There is no other subject matter here. Then some may come and say, no, Swami, there are many karma and upasana in the Upanishads. Of course, there are. But all are intended to reach at that highest, not for any other worldly benefits. There's only one concern, that is satya, satya and satya. So, rṣayaha means rṣayo satya drashtaraha. Those who have seen the satya is rṣayaha. That is rishi. And here rṣayaha hyāptakāmāha. Hyāptakāmāha means fulfilled, having fulfilled all desires in life. When we are transcending all the desires, then we can say we have fulfilled. If we are not transcending, then we will be longing again and again for many objects of the world. But when we have transcended, then we can say it is absolute fulfillment. Hyāptakāmā, those who have fulfilled all the desires in life. Such rishis, they are reaching that abode, the abode of the highest truth. So here, the goal is satya, and the path, it also is satya. The goal is the highest satya, which we can call nānṛtaṃ or Brahman. Where it is said, yatra satyasya paramaṃ nidhānam. Where the highest truth is residing, that abode. So it is the highest truth. And what is the way? The way also is satya. So both in the transactional level and in the ultimate level. In both these levels, we have to observe satya, practice satya, and we have to think that it is satya. And therefore it is said, satyameva jayate, satyameva jayate. When it is jayate, it is parasmai padam. When it is jayate, it is atmane padam. See? So this mantra we have to keep always in our mind. The highest is satya, and the path to that also is satya. So observe satya always. Speak what is satya. Do what is satya. And think always about the satya. So this mantra, see, satyameva jayate nānṛtaṃ. Satyam alone succeeds, never asatyam succeeds. Satyena panthā vitato devayānaḥ. Satyena, through satya, the devayānaḥ panthā, the path of devayānaḥ is spread. Is spread. Yenākramantyṛṣayo, through that path, rishis are reaching that highest. Yatra, where satyasya paramaṃ nidhānam, where the highest abode of the truth is residing. So this is the mantra. We have to repeat it again and again, ruminate the meaning inside. And then comes, what is that satyam? This question is there. What is that satyam? So once more, the next mantra is explaining or is trying to explain what is satya. Why trying to explain? Because it is above all verbal explanations. No word can reach that. No word can reach that. So nobody can explain through words. And therefore, Shruti is using innumerable words to teach what is above all speeches. See, bṛhacca taddivyamacintyarūpaṃ, sūkṣmācca tatsūkṣmataraṃ vibhāti, dūrātsudūre tadihāntike ca, paśyantvihaiva nihitaṃ guhāyām. Very beautiful mantra carrying almost all the meanings of earlier mantras. So in the sixth mantra, both in the transactional level and the highest level, we have seen the word satya. Satya is the goal and satya is the path. Holding this satya firmly, we can walk through the path of satya to the goal that is satya. And the satya is above all explanations. No word can reach that. Yato vacho nivartante. Yad vacha anabhyutidam. That which cannot be explained through words. So here, Shruti is saying, bṛhacca taddivyam achintyarūpaṃ. Sūkṣmācca tatsūkṣmataraṃ vibhāti. dūrātsudūre. tadihāntike. paśyantvihaiva nihitaṃ guhāyām. This is the essence of all the teachings we have seen in the earlier mantras. See, bṛhacca taddivyam. Bṛhat means vast. Bṛhat. That. Divyam. Divyam is effulgent. Effulgent. Or we can say divine. Divyam, divine. Effulgent. So that effulgent being is vast. Achintyarūpaṃ. Achintyarūpaṃ. We cannot think about that. It is above the realm of mind. Achintyarūpaṃ. Sūkṣmād tatsūkṣmataraṃ vibhāti. That is sūkṣmād sūkṣmataraṃ, subtler than the subtle. Subtler than the subtlest. Taddivyamacintyarūpaṃ. That is far away. tadihāntike. That is very, very near. It is far away and it is very, very near. Ihaiva, here itself. Here itself. Paśyatsu, within those who are seeing. Paśyan is he who sees is paśyan. Paśyatsu is the plural and the seventh case. That is within those who are seeing. Within those who are seeing. Guhāyām, in the cave. See, bṛhacca taddivyamacintyarūpaṃ. What is that reality? What is that absolute existence? That is vast, bigger than the biggest. Bṛhat. Bṛhat means bigger than the biggest. Think about the biggest. What is the biggest? We can say this earth, no. The solar system, no. Then we will go to the Milky Way, no. Then the whole universe, this prapancha. Even then people will come and say, no, universe, Swami, now you speak about the multiverse. Yes, whatever it is. So it is bigger than that. Higher than the highest. Larger than the largest. Bigger than the biggest. And at the same time, smaller than the smallest. Or subtler than the subtlest. sūkṣmācca. See, in the common language, if it is bigger than the biggest, it cannot be sūkṣma. Or if it is sūkṣma, it cannot be stula, bigger. But here Shruti is saying, it is bigger than the biggest and subtler than the subtlest. That means it is above all space. It is above all size. If we are looking at it as something big, it is big. If we are looking at it as small, it is small. Because it is everything. It is above our normal cognition. Why? Because it is the ultimate consciousness. It is the absolute consciousness. And we cannot realize it through our limited consciousness. That is shining through the mind, intellect, and senses. It is above that. And therefore, if we are observing it as something bigger, something big, it is the bigger than the biggest. Because the whole world, all of the manifestations are existing in that. At the same time, it is residing within the heart. When I am saying I am here, it is the very existence that gives existence to me. So that is the subtle, that is the gross. Grosser than the grossest, subtler than the subtlest. Bṛhacca taddivyamacintyarūpaṃ sūkṣmācca sūkṣmataraṃ vibhāti. Acintyarūpaṃ. We cannot perceive that. Our mind cannot enter into that. You cannot make it an object of our mind. Acintyarūpaṃ. dūrātsudūre. It is far away. In the Ishavasya Upanishad and in the Upanishad, almost same mantra is coming. Taddure, taddivyamacintyarūpaṃ. That is far away from us, and at the same time it is very near to us. There, Bhagavan Bhashyakara, Shankaracharya says, for the ignorant people, it is far away because they cannot reach at that even after 100,000 births. And for those who know, that is the knowers of truth, they know that the absolute existence is nothing outside me. As I am existing here in this world, I am that existence. So it is within me. It is without me. It is both within and without. And therefore it is here. Antike. I am that. I am not far away from me. See? I am not far away from me. I am myself. I am considering myself as this body, mind, intellect complex. I am considering me as having many aspects. I am a woman, I am a man, I am a sannyasi, this, that. But just sit at a place and think, who am I? The answer is one, only one. That is, I am what I am. And Shaishava, Balya, Kaumara, Yauvana, and Vardhakya. When I am a small baby, when I was a boy or girl, when I was a youth, everything changed. Appearance changed, body structure changed, thought patterns changed. But I remained the same, the unchangeable. So I am what I am. Paśyantvihaiva, here itself. Within the cave, that is within the heart. See, the problem is we are going outside in quest of me. So I am going here and there in quest of me. I am going to Himalayas, to different caves, different ashramas, gurus, this fellow, that fellow, many, and asking, who am I? What nonsense is this? Huh? You are what you are. So go inside. Instead of wandering here and there in search of the self, go inside. Paśyatsu. Paśyatsu. That means in those who are seeing. I am seeing this world. I am experiencing this world. And through the limbs, I am going outside. Now a shift must happen. And I must redirect my own inquiry within. Paśyatsu. Within those who are seeing. Nihitaṃ is well established. That absolute existence, that absolute truth, which is bṛhacca, which is divyam, which is acintyarūpaṃ, which is sūkṣmācca, which is dūrātsudūre, which is nihānṛtaṃ, is well established in the self, within. paśyantvihaiva. Within the cave. Where is this cave? We have to go inside this body, analyze. Then we will find it out. No, this is not me. Still, I have to move inside. Then to the prana, then to the mind, manas, then to the intellectual level, and realize all these are different media of expression. I am expressing myself through this media. So still deeper and deeper I had to dive. And paśyatsu nihitaṃ. So that cave, from where that I sense is shining. I am here, I am here. Find it out. From where it is shining. There, paśyatsu ihaiva, here itself. Now where we have to wander? Here itself. Nihitaṃ guhāyām is well established in the cave. So, to go inside the cave, we have to have this strength with us. And that strength we are getting from observance of brahmacharya, satya, tapas, satyena labhyas tapasa hyesha atma, samyak jnanena brahmacharyena nityam. So all these sadhanas and the strength of the sadhana we must have with us to go deeper into the cave. Going to faraway places, going outside, we may consider it as very difficult to know. It is easy. Walking around the world is easy. But going deeper inside, it is the highest challenge. So for that, we must be equipped with the power which we are accruing from the observance of satyena labhyas tapasa hyesha atma, samyak jnanena brahmacharyena nityam. All this must be with us. With that power alone, we will be able to dive deep into the self. then we will realize here itself, ihaiva, paśyatsu, within those who are seeing. See, we are going behind the objects which we are seeing. Shruti asks us to stop that and go to the seer. Instead of going behind the scene, you go to the seer. So this is the teaching of this mantra, that is the seventh mantra. I think we can take this mantra once more in our next satsang. It is the essence of all the teachings we have seen in the earlier mantras. Now, if you want to ask anything, you can ask.
Namaste, Swamiji. Some say tomorrow is Guru Purnima. So, what is the significance of Guru Purnima? How to observe it? And your message.
For all the sadhakas, Guru Purnima is a most auspicious and most important day, as we are worshipping our Guru Parampara, the lineage of Gurus. Now there are many days exclusively reserved for different categories: Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day, this day, that day, many. Even earlier, it was there. That practice was there in Bharat. It is not a newer thing. So one day exclusively for worshipping Guru. Of course, we are worshipping all the days. In all our activities, we will first prostrate before our Guru. Guru Smarana will be there always. But still, a day is exclusively reserved for doing that, and it is Guru Purnima. That is the Purnima, full moon day of Ashadha. Why it is observed as Guru Purnima? See, the concept of Guru is not restricted to any embodiment. Instead of that, we are worshipping the lineage of Guru, beginning right from Narayana, Adi Narayana or Sadashiva, Narayana Samarambham or Sadashiva Samarambham. In that way, we are prostrating before the lineage of Guru. Innumerable Gurus are there. How many generations of Gurus have got? We cannot say. But we are seeing in Vyasa the whole of Guru Parampara, because he gave us all the Shastras we have. editing the Vedas, writing the Itihasa Mahabharata, and of course writing all the 18 Puranas. It is said, Vyasochistam Jagat Sarva. There is nothing in this world which is not tasted by Vyasa. So we are worshipping the day Vyasa Purnima as Guru Purnima. And on this day, all the disciples will go to their gurus, worship their guru. That is the custom. That is the tradition. In almost all ashramas in the world, Guru Purnima day will be celebrated. Of course, differently. Some may be doing puja, some may be doing archanas, some may be doing japas, some may be doing shastra vyakhyas. So always remember in mind, Guru is not an embodiment. Guru is a principle. That principle leads us from darkness to light. Gum Dhyavayati Guru. The dispeller of darkness. Darkness is within our own heart, covering the very existence. Which am I? What is my real nature? I am. And it is covered with a veil of ignorance. Guru is dispelling that. So on this day, we have to remember this, do swadhyaya, try to do studies, and do manana, again and again, ruminate what we had heard. In the Advaithashramam, Volatur, we are observing Guru Purnima with japa and lectures on the importance of Guru. And from 22nd, Vedanta Vijayara Satra will begin. It is for 7 days, from 22nd morning to 28th night. And the topic selected for the study is Kenopanishad Vakya Bhashya. All of us are aware of the great bhashyas written by Bhagavan Bhashyakara Shankaracharya. These bhashyas are mainly on 10 Upanishads, Brahma Sutras and Bhagavad Gita. For all the 10 Upanishads, there are bhashyas, but take the case of Kena Upanishad, there are 2 bhashyas available. One is Pada Bhashya and the other is Vakya Bhashya. Both are authentic. Anandagiri has written Tika on both these bhashyas. And the style of writing is that of Bhagavan Bhashyakara. So that Vakya Bhashya we are studying. And now I am here in the Madhavananda Ashram, Gujarat. Tomorrow it is the 76th Mahasamadhi day of Param Pujya Madhavananda Ji Maharaj, who established the ashram. Swamiji was here from 1939 to 1948. On 1948 Guru Purnima day, he attained Mahasamadhi. So all the Guru Purnima days are anniversaries of that Mahasamadhi day. So always move towards light. Think about that effulgence. Our inner self is that effulgence itself. But we are covering with many coverings, curtains, and we are considering ourselves differently. So many interpolations. With the help of Shastra, we had to remove all this. For that, we will have the grace of Guru. The grace of Guru is always there, as well said in the Upanishad itself. Sustiva paraya tamasa parasta. To transcend the realm of ignorance, may you have the success. That is the meaning of that mantra. That is the grace showered over us on the whole world. We can have that grace and do our sadhanas. And realize for ourselves our own unlimited existence, nature. We are considering ourselves as limited beings. And we are having sorrows, pain and pleasure, all the dualities, because we are considering ourselves as limited. No. I am the unlimited self. I am the unlimited being. That thought must be there within. And from where we will get that? From Shastras. And the Shastras we are getting from our Guru. And our Guru is not a person, not the embodiment of 5 elements. No. Through him or through her, the entire Guru Parampara is represented. So keep that in mind. Because nowadays we are seeing different types of sectarianism. My Guru, your Guru. My Guru is greater than your Guru. And our ashrama is greater than your ashrama. Your Guru is an ordinary Guru. My Guru is something celestial. Such foolishness we are hearing. Why? We are considering Guru as a person. No, he is not a person. he or she is representing the whole of Guru Parampara, then there is no contradiction. So have that vision within. If the world is flowing, we need not be a part of that flow. We must have our own individuality and stand firm, even if we are alone in this world. Nobody is together. Nobody is following. Let them look their own path. I am here with conviction. Have that conviction. Namaste.
Namaste, Swamiji. Sri Arun Babuji raised hand, but we already crossed 11 o'clock. So, do we have time? It's already 11.
If it is essential, let him ask.
Please unmute.
Hariom Swamiji.
Namaste.
The question is based on today's talk. The key thing what we discussed is satyameva, jayate. So until we realize the ultimate truth in the transactional world, many things appear as truth to us, which is again satyam. Though it could be temporary, until it becomes permanent, we consider it as truth only. So the question is, how do we deal that satyameva jayate, the victory of that satyam may not be really satyam, because Swamiji told that the path is also satyam, right? So that path is coming in the transactional level, which need not be true always, but it's appearing as true.
Yeah. I got it. I got it out. Yeah. The thing is, even though this term satya have highest meaning in the ultimate sense, which we have discussed, in the transactional level also, the term satya is used. And always speak what is satya. It may not be nṛtaṃ in the absolute sense, but in the transactional level, speak that which you know to be satya. This is satya. See, in the Taittiriya Upanishad, while explaining the mantra satyam vada, Bhagavan Bhashyakara writes, satyam yatha pramāna avagatam yad vaktavyam tad vada. You speak that which has come to your knowledge through valid means of knowledge, valid means of cognition. So this is the test. It may not be nṛtaṃ. I'm saying there is a snake. On the path, there is a snake. Because I have seen that. I saw that there is a snake on the path. And to somebody else, I am saying there is a snake. The snake is not real. It may be unreal. It may not be a snake. But for me, it is a snake. And with full conviction that it is a snake, I spoke to the other person. Then there is no untruthfulness. Then he takes a torch and search. Then he sees it is a piece of rope. It is not a snake. You are a liar. No, I am not a liar. For me, it was a snake. So, even though it is not satya, for me it was satya. And as far as I know, it is satya. So, Even if it is not satya, we can speak out what we consider as satya. But it must come through valid means of knowledge. Because in the transactional level, that is the only way we can live here. No other way. So always observe truthfulness in life. Be truthful to oneself. That is the main thing. Namaste.
Namaste.
I think we can conclude now. Om Bhadrang Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devaः Bhadram Pashyemakshabhirya Jatraः Thirairangaistushtuvam Sastanobhir Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vṛhacca Swasti na Posha Vishwavedaः Swasti nastarksho arishthaneme Swasti no brihaspatirdadhatu Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste, namaste.
Hari Om Swamiji, Hari Om.
Now our Sumaji is planning a 3 days satsanga there in California. 3 days from September 20th to 22nd.
We are all waiting for you, Swamiji.
Namaste, namaste.
Hari Om, Swamiji.